Okay, so something that I get asked a fair amount of times is like, when as a brand do we look to diversify our offering, or when do we look to expand our offering, versus when as a brand do we actually look to like make a more focused offering? When do we, how do I say, be more focused on what we're trying to do? And the answer to the question is always in your market, in knowing that customer persona as much as possible. So it's really simple, if your current customer persona is not someone that you feel that you can sell to, and you need to change customer personas, that's a whole different scenario, and that's when you need to rebrand possibly, or you need to redo your brand. But let's assume that you want to sell to your ideal customer, okay? So your temptation could be to expand your offering. And that would make sense if what your customer values about you can be carried across to a different context. So let's say, for example, let's take like Hard Rock Cafe as an example, okay? It's a brand that's fairly known. So it is an eating experience, it's a hospitality experience. Fundamentally, it's a restaurant. So I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna have a meal, right? But they also understand that people come there and they like to say that they went to the Hard Rock in New York, or they went to the Hard Rock in Los Angeles, or wherever. So they will sell some apparel that comes with that. They'll sell t-shirts and hoodies and caps and all sorts of things, because they know that people want a bit of that experience to take away with them, and it's a cool stuff, and it's designed really well, and they make the product high quality and all that kind of stuff. That for me as a brand extension makes a lot of sense. So when you're looking to extend your brand, it's always, for me, makes more sense to sell more to your current customers, rather than trying to target other different types of customers with the same brand. Because, like, for example, let's take the example of the luxury brands during the 80s who took the business logic of, let's say the price point for a handbag was 50,000 Rand as an easy just analogy there, that no one has to really be a master arithmetic or math to know that there are very few people that maybe can afford a 50,000 Rand handbag. There'd be a lot more people that can afford a 1,000 Rand handbag. So the logic was, let's get 1,000 Rand handbags up. What they unfortunately did was they made a bunch of mistakes. First of all, they licensed out the brand versus manufacturing the stuff themselves. And they had to do that because their whole supply chain was set up for quality, low quantity, high quality. So the final product for 1,000 Rand was really poor. It devalued the brand significantly, because if you can imagine that you are someone that purchases the 50,000 Rand handbag, do you really like the fact that someone can purchase the same brand for 1,000 Rand? I think not. I think it would devalue the brand for you as a luxury buyer. It's not now as much a big deal as it was before, but if you look at the likes of, say, Land Rover, or no, it was Jaguar actually, to be honest. And when it came out that Tata as a company had bought them out, now even though that didn't mean that necessarily their brand was going to be the same car as a Tata, we all in our mind have this positioning of Tata as a value brand, and you've got Jaguar as a luxury brand. So that would have hurt it at the same. So it's the same kind of perception. So the answer to whether to extend your brand or to focus your brand is always within the customer. It's easier to sell more to the same customer than it is to acquire a completely new customer. And you should always look to only acquiring a completely new customer if targeting this one is not possible anymore, or it doesn't make sense for you from a business point of view.